Question.
Tell me how you feel about
this. How do you feel about this?
Question.
So,
that took a while. I was like, question. Okay.
yeah. So the internet is ablaze with this this question. Who do you think would win in a fight? 100 men against one gorilla, one adult gorilla, silverback in the fucking wild. 100 grown men with no weapons, just their bare hands against one silverback, huge, wild gorilla.
British men. Because I just want to establish the type of man. Because a British man, 100 British men is not the same as 100 Russian men. So if it's British men, stock that we would see outside of here, the gorilla is going to tear them to bits every time, heads flying.
So you're thinking someone that's been through war-torn, like, or kind of like resistance, militia fighting, it's like at war every day. So them type of people, rebels, those type of people.
No, like just standard Russians.
Just an average Russian.
A standard Russian.
Like Dolph Lundgren in Rocky. Like,
he's not standard though.
No, he's not. I'm talking about a standard Russian. It's like, you know, generally their parents have gone through a period of like hunger. They're harder people.
They've been through stuff.
Like, but not war-torn. But they're just like a firmer type of race of people. They're tough love.
Is that what you're saying here on the internet?
Russians would say that.
Are they?
I have a couple of Russian friends. They're literally like, their upbringings are tough. Like, it's a harder. They're not soft. I think 100 Russian men can take a bear. British guys,
gorilla.
Londoners,
gorilla.
Gorillas. Londoners, even if they're black or white, the gorilla is having them up.
Yeah, if you haven't got any kind of like, you didn't do, what's the word? Power training. What's the thing that people used to do? The training you should get at school. I can't remember what it is. But anyway, if you haven't been through any kind of adventure training or anything like that, even if you haven't done freaking paintballing, you're not winning because there's no strategy. There's no kind of coordination. You're not going to say who's your leader, who's going to be. By the time you've figured out who's going to be top boy, you're going to be all dead boys. And that's it. So I just believe that, because I think logically, strategically, there could be, it wouldn't be like, as I've seen the debates, it's like they're not the first maybe 30
are gonna die.
You're not gonna make it. But then once you figure out his weak spots, when you coordinate, because also there's no weapons, but if you're in the jungle, you've got to utilize the grasses, the reeds, the stones. Are there rocks? Are there branches? Are there things you can pick up and start to coordinate? And the thing is, are you going to kill the guy? I don't know about killing either. Maybe getting away and escaping. But actually killing the gorilla? I don't believe that without a weapon.
Yeah, I don't think they're winning at all. I think they would have to, I agree with you, because I feel like it would have to be so coordinated.
Yeah.
And they're never, 100 men are never going to just be coordinated. Normal, bog standard, non-military men are going to be coordinated enough to be like, let's attack the gorilla in this way and all jump on it and suffocate it. I can't see them doing that shit. And I do believe that even if they did that shit, at least 50 of them are going to die.
Yeah.
And then while the 50 are dying, the other 50 are going to run away.
Yeah, there's going to be that. First of all, fight or flight. So you're going to have a bunch of them flighting. Those that think, I could do it, die.
Yeah.
And then the last ones, probably the computer geeks who worked out strategies online all day long, they're the ones who are going to be like, okay, so now this is what we're going to do. We're going to...
By the time they've done that, the gorilla's ripped out their throat.
No, but they're going to huddle, because whilst they're watching people die...
No, there's no huddle.
Because how fast does a gorilla kill people as well?
Have you seen what gorillas are like in the wild?
I've seen what they can do, but there's also going to be a moment where, like, you're going to do that, how long is he going to be occupied killing? Because there's still 50 to get through, or 100 to get through, right? So whilst you're watching those lot get killed, you could huddle somewhere and be out of the line sight.
But then you're not fighting the gorilla then.
No, you're strategizing.
What?
To do, and then to do what? When he's mutilated everybody else, and you're in your little huddle, he's coming to you because he's by then angry
you
now.
Can't just
because how very dare you think that you could come for me? I'm a gorilla around these parts.
You can't have like a team meeting. You can't have a town hall. But you've got to have a quick thinking, okay, right, I'm going to go here, you go there, and try. It might work.
I mean, maybe you could have some run one way, the gorilla goes after the other, like you're the decoy, and then the others come from the back, try and jump on the back of the gorilla. But then he could just be like, boom.
Yeah.
10 of you dead.
Yeah.
10 of you dead.
But I
don't even necessarily think that all of them are going to die at the same time. I just feel like the gorilla is going to tear the arse out of those men, and they'll be mutilated, and they will be incapacitated, and they will not be able to do anything.
And
then they'll die slowly.
Run away.
A lot will run away.
Loads of them.
A lot will run away, and who's left?
You're gonna
let's pick celebrities. Which celebrities do you think that could handle it? Which celebrity do you think is going to at least last a bit?
No one, because they're celebrities and they have stunt doubles and it's not real life.
Just The Rock.
Just The Rock.
The Rock looks hard enough to try and fight.
But he might actually be really scared in real life.
But he was a wrestler.
Yeah, but wrestling's coordinated.
Choreographed.
Yeah. It's not.
I don't know anyone.
I don't think.
What about Jason? Is his name Momoa?
No.
Again, he's just got hair.
And also,
he's big, no?
It's big. Choreographed. It's coordinated. It's not the same thing.
Do you know? It's funny. Speaking of, he's on. I was about to say Times Square. Our version of Times Square, Piccadilly, eating an ice cream. He's eating an ice cream. That is not the man that's going to win against.
Back in the day, he could take on a gorilla.
Sylvester Stallone and Dolph Lundgren, as I said. Maybe. What about LeBron James?
What's he going to do? Bounce around it?
You can dribble around him.
Dribble what?
I don't know.
Oh, take it. Like, hey,
no.
Look at this, gorilla.
No, the gorilla's going to have humans up.
This is what's funny as well, because men are they've got such a overinflated idea of themselves. Like, you think you could take on a gorilla? A gorilla. There's a reason why they are in the wild and we're not near them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd have homes where gorillas are at. No? You don't think the way that man likes to conquer everywhere, you don't think that if...
We just haven't gone to that space. I believe that if men...
And because if they did, they would kill them with weapons.
Yeah,
that's what they do.
That's
what they wouldn't just be living there next to the gorilla feeling like, if you come round Yasso, I can fuck you over.
Yeah, okay.
They're not doing that.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
I believe that 100 men could figure it out if they had their faculties about them. Because I think we're giving a lot of... We're looking at the power of a gorilla, but we're not looking at the actual common sense of a gorilla. Because once they're in attack mode, and when do they get tired? How long does it take for a gorilla to get
Gorillas
tired?
fight other gorillas.
No, I know that. Obviously. I
but
get
this is
that.
my point. So it's not like they're dumb and they don't have strategies. They fight other gorillas.
But they know gorillas.
Exactly. And a man ain't nothing to a gorilla.
City guys.
No, average, like, man from around the...
getting killed.
Yeah.
Even if they rushed on ensemble, most of you are going to die. Yeah. And your brethren who you would have died for in a post-code war are going to run and leave you.
Yeah. There's all of that.
They're God.
That's the strategy to get people off the roads. Put them, drop in
100 roadman against a gorilla.
Drop him in front of a gorilla. See how much All right, that was that. Welcome to your Aunties Could Never, your favourite aunties on the internet. I'm Auntie AK, the auntie of all aunties, and I'm here with...
I'm Farah, your resident Caribbean queen.
I'm Nana, aka the Black Fairy, aka... Dark and Lovely.
One more week, Auntie Sade is still gone in Africa. Gorilla.
That is really
slightly racist.
I feel like that was racist.
Gorilla.
I'm
really?
offended.
But gorillas are in Africa. I didn't say the people. You are racist for thinking that I was being racist, because I said gorillas are in Africa. They're in the jungle. So why did you go racism?
You went because you were being
just
racist.
Talking about gorillas.
You did a racism.
You did a racism. You actually did a racism.
I said
you did a racism.
And
that's a sound.
I said nothing.
And I said gorillas, and you lot said, that's a bit racist.
Yeah.
Why? Because gorillas are actually in the jungle. We just spoke about gorillas.
Did she go to the jungle?
I didn't say that. I just said Africa.
You're like them people that make it out like it's a country.
Yeah.
I didn't do that either. It's a continent. And Sade's in all of Africa. All right, guys. We've got some announcements, please. First of all, you must.
Boop the like button. Boop the like button. Boop the like button.
Boop it now. Also, what you must do.
Because in my head I was saying put the blood clot, but I didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
I know, because she looked at me.
What else must they do?
You must please and thanks subscribe to our membership to be a I can't say it. To be a friend, it's £1.99. And to be family and get involved in family things, it is £4.99. And it's cheaper than a bag of chips.
Yes.
You get me though?
And also, if you're...
Why are you juggling boobs?
I don't know, because I was doing a dance and it was a boob dance. Also, if you're listening on the podcast airwaves...
What you need to do is send us 5 stars and 5 stars only. Please. Because you know what? I think in that time with the Americans, yeah, our star rating has dropped. I need to let you guys know this. So folks that haven't given us a rating, please do so now to push us back up. We are now on 4.8. We were on 4.9 for time, and I feel like it was those guys that were coming for us.
The adults.
Don't let them get away with it.
Don't let the FBIs get away with it.
Come back.
We love all the Americans except you guys. Well, you know what? If you have a conversation and you change your mind, back on being your friend.
And they did change their minds. So everybody else out there, please go onto Spotify or Apple and leave us 5 stars and 5 stars only.
Can't wait.
I literally was going to do that.
Wait
Well done.
another minute.
For the stars to come on.
Also, just a reminder that we are aunties. We're not experts. We're just sharing our thoughts and opinions. Do not come for us because we're sharing our thoughts and opinions. Guys, learn. And that's it. Do your own research and go forth and multiply your own damn selves. And conquer.
Yeah.
That's colonizational.
Well,
is there such a thing as a reverse colonizer?
Yeah, it's people taking back their shit.
Yes.
We're
advocating take back your shit.
Take back your shit, man.
I'm so incensed by this.
Yes.
And my enemies are a white mother of a mixed race girl, her white brethren, and the white hairdresser, who got on my last freaking nerves. And I'll tell you why. Because in a clip that's gone super viral, you might have seen it, a white mother and her friend have taken, I assume, is her mixed race daughter, to a hairdresser in Bournemouth. And they went in to deal with the mixed race girl's unmanageable hair.
What charge you got in your phone then?
Can I see your hair? Do you want to take that down? Wow, look at that. Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh, surprise me.
84%.
Yes, that looks like a surprise. And you want to lose all this, yeah? You don't want to have any more?
No.
Okay, take a seat. You guys gonna do what? While she's with us for hours?
We'll walk down into town and then we'll come back for a
Yeah, there's a beach down the road. You can actually go for a swim.
Oh, there you go.
Wow, look at this. My goodness. Yes, it's hard work. This is hard work. I understand it.
I've tried so many different products and we can't seem to find anything that really suits her hair, and she hates it.
Well, it is very difficult. I tell you, it's very difficult. Like her hair type is not easy to look after. So what do? Keep it tight or like
She literally wears it in bunches, plaited every day, same style.
Okay. Have you tried everything on it? Have you tried plait and keep them? Like, because there's not much you can do. Like, even it's just too freezing tight. The curls. I wouldn't even know how to take care of that, to be honest. I'm not a specialist in curls, so I wouldn't know how to take care of that. But it wouldn't be easy to take care of it, no? Mm-hmm. So, are you okay to lose the curls then? Because this is the first time, it's probably not going to be 100%, but it'll be like 80% straighter than it is now.
I think as long as it's less frizzy, she'll be happy.
Yeah. It'll be very different.
Yeah.
Very different. You're not going to miss it, are you sure? Okay.
No going back.
And literally from the mum to the hairdresser, they're all just speaking ill over the little girl. So it was horrible. And the little girl's like, yeah, I don't like my hair. But she's been given no other encouragement. She is the innocent party in this. Poor, blessed child. And so I did some research as well. After I watched the video, I was actually really fuming. I looked into this guy, Emerson Giuliani. He's got hairdressers in Bournemouth. And on his TikTok, all of his TikTok is like a heavy amount of his clientele are mixed race women and white women or people with curly hair. A lot of them are mixed race in his clips. And his thing is he's a keratin expert. So you know that keratin straightening treatment that straightens hair using a product that is like enzymes or whatever, they straighten it. That's his tagline, and he's the expert in straightening hair. Some of his clips are like, you know, there's another little mixed race girl saying she's so brave, she's going to straighten her curly hair. And all of this awful, awful narrative about curly afro hair and making it sound like it's the worst thing ever and the best thing to do to it is straighten it. And in the comments, on top of that, in the comments, when people are saying this is very anti-black, very anti-afro, this is all very negative, he's doubling down. He's saying, I don't see racism, I'm not being racist, you lot are being racist, you're bringing race into it. He even had the cheek to be upset because the family of the girl, of the previous video, the first video that I saw, asked for it to be removed because of all the backlash. And he said, well, now there you go, because of you lot, it's been taken down. He doesn't see anything wrong with what he's doing. In the bottom of the bin, this guy.
He's disgusting.
Yeah.
I was so pissed from the levels of the mum coming in and being like, we've tried everything on her hair, tried it all, nothing works. And then I'm looking at the girl's hair and I'm like, this is very archetypal mixed race hair.
Yeah.
You're going on like she literally has the 4 C's of the 4 C's and you've never seen this before.
Yeah.
That's how he was even touching her hair.
Yeah,
like, oh my God. I mean, I wouldn't even know what to do with this either.
Yeah.
Like, for one, you do a lot of hair all the time and her hair isn't even the curliest that you've dealt with. It was the lack of affirmation to, you know, you're beautiful.
Yeah.
And what you could do, even when he was like, are you sure? Are you sure? There was still a bit of a gloating, like, are you sure you want to come to the better side of life? Like, it wasn't like, are you sure because you're going to miss your curls? It was like, are you ready? Are you ready? Type of way that they were really being. I hate that there was nobody in the space to really be like, literally, all you need to do is effectively moisturize your hair.
Exactly.
Because her hair was dry.
Yes.
It was water dry.
Yes.
Like, nobody around her cares. And her mother, you've had this child. Where's her dad?
Where's dad? And this is, don't let me start.
Yeah.
It's not okay. It's not okay for her self-esteem that she had to go through that whole process. And the way she also was like, I do not want my curls.
Yeah.
And you have the backing of mum and said auntie.
Yeah.
Whoever she is. They were both like, yeah,
this is okay.
With their straight hair, yeah, let's sort you out. Like there's something wrong with her.
Wild.
It's disgusting. He is disgusting.
I couldn't agree more. And I'm incensed by a number of things in this. The girl's hair was dry.
Yeah.
And it looks like she puts water in it and probably gel at the front. And that is it. We are living in a world where there is YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube video. The mum, I blame you because you have a daughter who does not have hair like you, and you clearly haven't invested in looking at what you can do to help your daughter.
Exactly.
All you're going to do now is you're taking her to somewhere where her curls are going to be stripped. You're not even taking her to a hairdresser who understands Afro type hair, and they can maybe moisturize it, treat it, trim it, and then if she wants a blowout and a straighten with a hot comb or hot tongs or whatever it is, she can have that, and then her curls can go back and they can teach her what to do. You're not taking her there. You're taking her to someone who is going to strip her hair chemically. Her curls may never be the same. It's going to take her a while in later life to even know what her curl pattern is because of what keratin does. Doesn't it still contain formaldehyde?
Yeah. Oh, well, they've banned it, but there's a video of a little girl and he takes her outside to blow dry. Because I remember when keratin was a big thing, someone got their products and we did it in my home and we literally killed ourselves. It was horrible. So we had to open all the doors, and then that's when they were like, there's formaldehyde in it, so they changed it.
Okay, fine.
They've changed the chemicals apparently, but the fact that he had to go outside, I don't know what brand he's got, because you shouldn't have to go outside.
I just think that's what I was thinking, to blow dry somebody, and she had really thick hair.
Yeah.
And they were like, this is going to be the best for us in here. Like, let's take it outside. And it's like, what?
Yeah, no, I think
that's because
I think that it's dodgy because, like you said, Nana, what are they doing to this little girl's confidence? There is feeling in her that she has to have dead straight hair in order to be somebody. Like the mum's there standing saying, yeah, we've done everything. I do not believe that you've done anything.
No.
So let alone everything. I do not believe that you've done it at all. I can go on YouTube today and find one video that will teach you how to deal with this little girl's hair. You can go on social, TikTok, whatever the hell, wherever you see your shit, you can go and find out about this. But you've now set this tone for this little girl for the rest of her life. Like, this is how she has to conform around you for her to feel worthy. And this man, he is making money off of people's insecurities. Yeah. And I fucking hate that shit.
I'm so incensed, like literally. And it's like, it's not about people not being allowed to straighten their hair. You can straighten your hair if you want, but do it with information. And I also put in the bin the mum, the auntie, and the clientele that are just up. I want it. Yeah, I do. I want your business to fail. I don't like what you're making money off of, Mr. What's his name again? Emerson. I don't like how you're making your money, because you are tapping in, as said, into black people's and mixed race people's insecurities. And all of you that are going there, not the kids, but the grown adults are going there saying, yeah, this is great, this is amazing, without doing your research as well. You're uplifting this white man who's destroying people's curls and securities. And he's got the fucking arrogance, because you could even be a better hairdresser serving your community, because obviously it's Bournemouth, so probably there's not as much access to products, probably. That's what they say. I don't live in those spaces. And I know people that live outside of London say sometimes it's hard to find the what do you call it? The creams and the stuff to do their hair. So I understand it might be a bit
online.
Obviously, I'm giving them a little bit. Okay, maybe it's difficult for you, maybe, because I know there are.
Do you know what? In all honesty, I don't have time for people.
No, I get it.
I don't have time for people who have children of mixed ethnicities and do not invest in finding out what you can do with that kid's
absolutely
hair.
that part.
I don't have time for that. I'm
talking about the grown adults.
I think it is verging on abuse.
No, it
because
is.
You're abusing their soul and their spirit.
You are.
Yeah, you can't do that shit. If you're gonna fucking lay down or adopt or whatever the fuck it is that you did to get that child, you need to learn how to cater for that child as well.
Absolutely.
And you need to make them feel confident. Like Nana said, there wasn't even a point where they were like, you know what, you're beautiful without it. You don't have to do it. But do you really? There was none of that.
I'm saying about the grown adults that go in there. If you want to frequent the hairdresser, you could actually inform him and educate him and help him if you like. But you're just upholding one narrative that he's spitting out there and spewing out there. You could be like, I can't find the products. I'm going to this hairdresser. This hairdresser is a local one. He kind of knows how to do my hair. But then he should also learn. You could be a better hairdresser and talk about, okay, you can embrace your curls and here's how to manage them. If you want to be the king of Afro and mixed race hair, then you can actually learn to get people, your clientele,
do you know what?
to embrace your hair.
It's not what he wants to be. And also,
he wants to straighten people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's on a mission.
He is a colonizer.
Yeah,
he's on a mission to straighten their hair.
Yeah. Because as many heads as he can straighten.
The younger the better. That's what I'm getting from him.
Yeah.
In terms of the adults that are going there and having this treatment done, you lot crack on, innit? But I have a problem with doing it to children.
I have with the adults too.
No, but it's your hair. If you want to go and straighten your hair, you crack on and go and straighten your hair. You're a fucking adult, yeah? If that's what you want to do. But to take your child to this place to do that, I have a problem with that. At least take them to an environment that understands their hair. Yeah. You're just taking them to someone that whose first instance is to straighten the fucking hair. And with so many
mixed race people in that tackle, there were a lot of... Couldn't you not set up a hairdresser yourself? There must be one of you must do hair. It's wild.
It's the level of... this is what they want and this is what I'm going to give them, and he doesn't know anything about their hair.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, he's actually one of the worst hairdressers to go to.
Yeah.
He's pulling apart your hair, being like, I wouldn't even know what to do with this, but you know
there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can.
And when they're pulling it,
he was doing that to the adults as well. Yeah. And it's like, why would you
sit in his chair?
This man who doesn't know how to keep your hair healthy, but he knows how to turn it straight. You're gonna be like, this is who I'm gonna have dealing with my hair. What's the intentions? Hairdresser, they're doing sacred work.
Yes.
They're like literally working with your crown. And he has disdain for curls.
Yes.
And people are sitting in his chair when this guy is like, this is disgusting. And after he's processed it, fried and dried it, then he's like, now you're better.
Now you're better. So and that's the part. That's why I said that adults don't get a pass either. You don't get a pass.
It's self-esteem issue.
Because that guy, the person who, as you said, the person who's overseeing your hair doesn't like it. Doesn't like a part of
there's that part. There is definitely that part. And I believe in
right.
anyone who does your hair, it's about energies, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't let any man touch your head. You
Exactly.
cannot. Please hear me when I say that. But all I'm saying is I'm not going to sit here and say that people shouldn't straighten their hair if that's what they want to do. If that is what you want to do, then
don't
you
go
crack
to
on.
him.
But don't go to him.
That's what I'm saying. Do not give him money because he's an asshole. He's a dickhead. He should not be have that man who does not like your... How can he go to a hairdresser that doesn't like what... He doesn't... He's going to look at my hair, your hair, and say, ew.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do with that. There's nothing I can do.
Are you wild?
He was like,
come
other
on.
than straightening it, I wouldn't even know what to do with this head.
And as a hairdresser,
and the mum and aunt are there like, yeah.
Like, fuck you all.
This little girl who, that's the hair that grows out of it, that's her genetics. That's how she comes.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is really bad.
And for all of you who lay down thinking you're going to get the bouncy curls don't just bounce on their own. There's maintenance that goes into those bouncy curls that you think you're going to get.
You just don't know what you're going to get. So don't even fucking be fixated on you're going to have this type of hair or that type of hair. DNA works in magical, mysterious fucking ways. So if that's your intention, to have a little brown baby with little brown curls, like, fuck you, innit?
Yeah.
Like, and then at least learn to treat them. If that is your intention, learn to fucking treat them.
Where's the family?
I was literally just like, where the hell is her dad?
But what I will say,
dad could also be one of them, because there are a lot of black men that are the same, that are literally like, straighten your hair.
What I will
hair
say,
would be better if it's straight.
I do know somebody, and their daughter's hair is a problem, but he's trying to help the mother. He's not with the mum anymore. He has encouraged the mum to do certain things. He sent her certain things. He's done all of these things. But when the child is with the mum wants to do nothing. The mum would want to straighten her hair or cut it, and it's just like, you're filling this child with insecurity. So I've seen that it happens. Yeah. So I don't want to just be like, blame the dad, like, where's the dad?
Not blame the dad, but let's
or even where the dad is. Because let's say, for example, he sees his kid every other weekend. Mm-hmm. She goes there, she does it, he gets her hair done. Like, by the time she goes back to mum, mum's not doing nothing.
Yeah,
so you have to maintain it.
Yeah. It's like, it was that a burden for you? Oh, bless you. This poor little girl, I hope... Because with her saying, let's take it down. Also, I hope that in that taking it down, you heard from the backlash as well. Because there's an element of like, you didn't really realise how bad it was, what was happening. So hopefully, mother, that you were like, shit, what have I fucking done? Let me fix this.
I hope so.
I hope that. I really hope that. And I hope you didn't want to take it down just because you're embarrassed.
Yeah.
And you're still going to go and do the same thing and continue fucking lining Emerson's pockets behind closed doors. I hope that you saw the backlash and understood where people are coming from, because you're damaging your child. And I hope that beautiful little girl really understands your hair is beautiful. You've got a thick head of hair. Get to a certain age, you're going to be like, I wish I had...
So many people, though,
thick head of
is
hair.
like when you go through that straightening process and as your hair is growing and then you don't know what to do, because she's young and she can get into that state that we've all gone through when you don't even know how to do your hair because you've been so far removed from your curls to even know how to look after it. I hope she too, in this digital age, that she will see things and be like, actually, all I needed to do was find my hair community.
Yes,
hair tribe.
All I needed to do was actually be watching different things, and I can do this myself. I don't need my mum to actually be doing my hair. I can sit there, watch YouTube videos, find somebody whose hair is very similar to mine and watch their care routine.
Literally.
Order it on Amazon, follow through, and I too can have the hair that I want.
Exactly.
Because the thing about keratin as well, like, she's gonna have to keep doing this. It
not-
doesn't last forever. Yeah, it
why
lasts
he
for a long
loves it.
time.
Yeah,
Exactly,
making money
It
and
lasts forever.
whack it up
So the
the
investment that the mum's made in this thing, she could actually make that in finding the right products for your child.
How big is Bournemouth? Like, I don't know. I know I've been there, but I can't.
It's just semi-big time.
Because it's like, you're trying to tell me there's not one... So there's this one guy that everyone goes to. There are no other hairdressers. And I know, like, there's enough. You said, I haven't been to Bournemouth for ages.
The last time I went to Bournemouth, there definitely was a black population there. I saw more black men that were living there, but I'm sure there's black women there as well. It's a busy town because there's things there. There's tourism there. So it's got people. I don't believe that there isn't a black hairdresser
at least
that
3.
you could take that child
3.
to.
I don't believe it too, and what I also don't believe is that she's even looked. This is her solution. Yeah.
She's heard
because
about
there
Emerson.
are absolutely
because he
black
goes
hairdressers
viral online
everywhere.
He's got millions of views, and that's what's dangerous. I can't believe we're in this age. And one, I'm glad I'd never heard of him, but now I've heard of him. I can't believe he's existed. He's got millions of views, and there are lots of comments coming for him. But the fact that his hairdresser is booked and busy. Or then again, it's also perception, because there's social media and then there's a reality. Because when he was filming the little girl, the shop was empty. It looked like the shop was empty. I hope your shop stays empty, to be honest.
Yeah, you don't deserve this.
You don't deserve this. Or leave us alone. Just deal with the curly-haired white women. Leave mixed-race people alone, and black people. And black people, adults, use your fucking common sense. Don't go. And then parents of mixed-race children, do not. You're abusing them, as we've said. You're an abuser.
You can't go to a space where the person hates you.
No.
Imagine. Come on, man.
Speaking of somebody else who hates black people, so over the weekend, there was the Chris Eubank Jr. and the Connor Ben fight. Iconic fight because of their father's history and everything like that. You know, amazing settings, brilliant match. Eubank won, but they, was
it a landslide win or was it?
Nah, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't landslide. Okay. It wasn't landslide. Like they both did exceptionally well. Like no one really expected Ben to last the amount of rounds that he did.
Yeah, okay.
But so yeah, amazing fight. Great settings. The fathers hugged each other and the fathers hugged their sons. Beautiful scenery. Loved it all. Yeah. The thing that I didn't love was prior to the fight. So there was a boxer called Billy Joe Saunders. And he was trying to get into... Oh, there's a flare. He was trying to get into Chris Eubank Jr.'s... changing room to check the gloves, apparently. Right? Okay. So Chris Eubank's...
pause. Was he assigned to do that? Because they do check the gloves. Was he?
No, he's just a boxer.
No.
He just came to...
No. So, yeah.
He wanted to be a part of the action.
Exactly. Okay. So he went to try and get into the changing rooms, and he was speaking to Nappa, who's Chris Eubank Jr.'s manager, and Nappa was like, "You're not coming in."
Fair rapping, no cheating.
Yeah, you've got your team members.
Yeah, but what team members in there? Because under Connor's orders, listen, bruv. You're just sitting there. You're just sitting there. You're nobody, bruv. You're like an old big bouncer. You're just like a big old bouncer.
You ain't coming inside. I guarantee you that. You ain't coming inside.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Calling me a no one.
What are you gonna do?
You're a nobody.
You're a nobody. You're a nobody. You're a nobody. You're a nobody. You're a nobody. You're a nobody. You're a bouncer. Look at you. Look at the sound. You're a nobody. You're a nobody. I'll write you off in seconds. Big nose. Oh, look at you, the stat of you. Look at you. Look at the stat of you.
You know what you're doing? Cameras. You know
here. Like, what's wrong with you? You're not coming in here. And they were having an altercation. During the course of the altercation, Billy Joe Saunders thought it was okay to say a couple of things. He was like, "Who do you think you are? Do you know who I am?" And then he topped it off by calling Nappa rubber lips and big nose. Nana.
Sorry. Carry on. I'm always going to find that shit funny. Sorry. Very juvenile. Sorry.
Beautiful gowns.
Anyway, he is in the bin for me because it's such a microaggression. What he really wanted to say is, "Who do you think you're talking to, you black N-word?" But he couldn't say that, so he reverted to the thing that people do, and he went for a microaggression, and he called him rubber lip, big nose. These times now, your gal probably has got fillers in her whole entire face.
And looks like literal rubber lips.
He ain't even got rubber lips though.
He doesn't.
Nappa doesn't even have rubber lips.
Doesn't. And even if he did, who gives a fuck?
You just want to call him a black man.
And the thing is, like, where are we in the fucking 1980s?
That's what I was just thinking.
It's like, what are we in school? Like, rubber lips. Like,
is that
kind of dead cussing? If you're gonna cuss, like, I mean, I actually big up Nappa. I didn't even know that he transitioned from rapping to being manager.
He's crime legend.
Like a crime legend. Yeah, he is. Like, big up Nappa.
I was like, that's a big job.
Yeah. He called him like Billy. What's his name? Billy Joe Saunders called him a bouncer.
Okay. Like that shows your level. Billy Joe, you're not bucking the stereotypes that boxers are dumb because you just went for the low hanging fruit of cusses.
Also, who are you? Because before this, I had never heard of you. Okay, I'm not a boxing massive fan, but you're also a nobody.
Like, that's stupid.
Stop saying who are, like,
boxing, but it's so precarious. Like, like there's a lot of racism and name calling, and they do draw for the racism card a lot. And sometimes, I mean, Nappa stood up for himself, but there is an element of that male banter and male kind of disrespect that it's not allowed, but allowed. I feel like there's that. What's going to be the outcome? It's going to be like...
He seized the opportunity because the cameras were there.
Yeah.
And so, realistically, you couldn't do this to Nappa.
Yeah. If
there was no cameras around and you bucked up with Nappa in front of a door and you called him a rubber lip rubber lip monkey or whatever you wanted to say, Nappa is head and shoulders above you.
Literally.
He would knock you out.
Literally.
Boxer or no boxer, like slap you, like literally.
Yeah.
Like, he was brave. Even when I was watching it, I was like, you've got lip on you, you know, like you're just seizing this opportunity. But watch yourself though.
Watch
you don't know when
yourself,
you're
man.
going to buck up with him around the corner. Like you're just, he just did it for clout. But there is no doubt he doesn't have rubber lips. He ain't got a big nose. We know that trope was leveled at black people. You're being racist.
You're being racist.
Are the police going to charge him with racism?
No,
right?
But, and that's the part, like, what's the follow-up? Because usually, like, women, we will push it and be like, nah! But the men will be like, it is what it is. And either if they can't do it violently, then they'll brush it off in some cases.
Nappa has come out and made a statement about it. I'm not quite sure what it is though, but he has come out.
He did come back and just say it is what, like, he was like, it's that thing that you said, like, man couldn't say that to me on a regular day. Cameras are there, you saw what it is what it is, I keep it moving. My man won, but it's an interesting...
The caucasity of it all.
Yeah,
yes.
And it's like, it's not going to get dealt with in the same way. It's just going to be done with and that's it. I don't like that, but it is what
You're
it is.
You're an idiot. And if you... It's like what IO for the Soul was saying. If you are going to do a racism... Like, just do it properly.
Yeah.
Like, that's such the lowest... And he doesn't have rubber lips and he ain't even got a big nose.
Yes,
like,
so dumb.
Really? The 80s?
Someone I know did a racism or a tribalism. Someone black
they
said about Chris Eubank, they were like, when I heard him say Rastafari, I was so shocked. I didn't know he was Jamaican. I thought he was African. And I was like, why? And they were like, you know why? And I was like, no, I don't. Because I've always known, as far as I don't know when I first saw Chris Eubank, where I thought he was from because I was a kid. So I don't actually know. But his thing was, you know. And I'm like, what do you mean? And it's like, you know. And I was like, why?
Where was this person from that was saying this to you?
Caribbean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where?
And they were like, I don't want to go into specifics.
You could just say which country they were from because it will explain a lot.
I'm not going to go into specifics.
Oh, okay.
But that, like, just identify them
a little bit too much. Yeah, and I was a bit like...
All right. I hear it. Because I remember finding out that he was Jamaican and was shocked. But again, it was in the 90s. And I had a very clear perceptional line of that's a Caribbean look, that's an African look. And so he didn't fit in what I thought a Jamaican looked like for the Jamaicans that I was around. Going to Jamaica, Eubank is so Jamaican. But if you don't know, I do understand somebody having a look of a Caribbean person in their mind until you have a broader understanding of actually the gamut of looks fills every different look of black.
Yeah.
And so you think that's an African look, but they're African. So you are going to have an African phenotype that is there, that is represented as well. But I understand. I definitely thought that Eubanks was Nigerian when he first came out. Even the way he spoke, him being like really posh, that fit into a lot of the Nigerian
stereotypes. Yeah.
So it's like I get it.
I think I thought he was African too, but I think it's because I don't associate the name Eubank with a Jamaican. I don't know any Jamaicans. I mean, it could be like Smith over there. I don't know, but that's the only time I've heard it. And he is going to look African because he's African.
But that's not what the person meant.
I know, but that's what it is, though.
What do you think they meant?
No, they because you're saying it as in we all come from Africa.
Because that is my point, though.
But that's not what that person meant. That person meant.
But then that person, is like Nana said, is not really educated enough to understand.
Yeah, it was thinking they had a derogatory thought about it rather than we're all from Africa. It wasn't that.
Again, I think that's because that person probably isn't well versed in what black people look like all over the world.
Yeah.
Because how many fucking times do we have to say it? We come in all colours, all shades rather, and shapes and sizes and all of that stuff. You know, you can go to anywhere in the Caribbean and feel like you're somewhere in Africa.
Yeah. I think there are still loads of people that don't know that, because even when they do go to any island that they go to, they may just be on a resort. So you're still not actually seeing the locals. You're not seeing the people. You're not seeing the populace. And there is a look. Like I truly was surprised. I didn't think I was even going to see a dark skinned person. Truly, when I went,
okay.
Because I hadn't seen a dark skinned Jamaican here. No Jamaicans that I knew were dark. Like they're darker, but not as dark as the gamut of dark of Ghana. So you could I have who they would say I'm dark skinned in their family, but they're not as dark as me. They're still a brown. They're just a darker brown. So especially in Kilburn, and most people that live in Kilburn would know, there's a huge Jamaican community there. And I went to school with lots of Jamaicans. And generally, they are like, your complexion lighter. And that was the range. So I just felt like that was where I was going. I was going to it's just going to be lighter people. Okay. And even when you think of Americans on TV as well, it was like the same type of, you're not going to the gamut of dark. Dark came along, we were teenagers when you saw dark skinned people being on TV. And it wasn't a common thing. And generally when you did see a dark skinned person, they were from Africa. So I absolutely understand. I would have thought people knew more now, but I still get it when they don't think that that African phenotype is in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
When you go, you see it and you are like, they are there. Like that hasn't gone.
Definitely.
And in America as well, they are there. It hasn't gone. It's just not in your face all the time. I actually don't think the person is, it's ignorant, but it's not the worst of the ignorance.
Okay.
You put them in the bin.
I put that, yeah.
Yeah?
I did. I was like, okay.
Have you written them off?
No.
Okay. don't write them off. I guess you can file it under, okay, you're an ignorant. But
yeah.
All right.
Go on.
All right. I don't even know who my enemy is on this one, yeah. But I'm sad that Misa Hilton is suing Mary J. Blige for $5 million, hard cash dollars, because it seems like Mary J. Blige tried to block her blessings. Mary J. Blige, according to Misa, told a rapper who Misa was managing, you need to cut ties with her and come over to me or I'm not releasing your album. And he was like, nah, that's out of order. Maybe he said something else. But now he is co-signing Misa and being like, nah, Mary tried to sabotage you. And that is the end of a 30-year friendship. I don't know. Is it ever okay to sue your brethren? 30 years deep, even if they did a fuckeries to you and they owe you a bit of money, but just for the whole history of you two's relationship, is it ever okay to do that? And then on Mary's side, she's Justin's godmother. Can you block the blessings of a family where you're supposed to be like the godmother of the person's child?
What's Mary saying about it?
Mary hasn't released a statement.
So she basically tried to take a artist from Misa.
Yes. And Misa is like, I would have made money off of this album. I'm owed 20%, and I feel that 20% of what his album would have made is $5 million. Run me my dollars.
Oh, so they haven't even made money off it yet?
She's held it. The album's been done. It's complete. Mary hasn't released the album.
And what's the reason again? Just because
you got to cut ties with me, so she can't be your manager.
I wonder if it is Diddy related.
There are people that are saying it could be.
Mary has distanced herself somewhat from Diddy, and from associations to Diddy.
Yeah.
So I wonder if she's business hat on. I wonder if she's thinking, as long as you're managed by Misa, who is basically in the Diddy camp, and kind of backing some of the, not really defending him, but she's in the Diddy camp, right?
Yeah.
As long as you're in that pot, in that area, this album's not going to do what you think it's going to do because you have an association to him. There's too much going on. Maybe what we need to do is for you to disassociate yourself from her, and we'll release it under my banner and see how we get on.
But then that's a conversation with your brethren.
Of course it's a conversation with your brethren.
So I still think, like, if you can't have the conversation...
But do we know that Mary didn't have a conversation with her?
But even still,
Misa is saying Mary basically throws her out of stuff.
Okay.
So
it's a regular occurrence.
It's like, you may think, actually, do you know they were collaborators on various things? Like she was a stylist, you're working with each other.
The boots that she just released were with me, with Misa.
So we're working, like that, and then all of a sudden, things are happening and you're not getting invited to it. And then things are taking place and your client is being invited and your client is being told you need to sack off this relationship for us to continue doing business, for your whole album to be released. And this is somebody that you have worked with, collaborated with. She's family now. It's 30 years on, and she's trying to sabotage your business.
Yeah, I don't know.
Has Misa put money in? She put money into getting the album made.
His manager.
I think technically, if you're saying is it okay to sue on a business level, then yeah, because then it's like the business of it, or if you're keeping it straight like business and it's contract signed, then you have to follow through. If it was anything else, I might be like, just fuck you, we're not talking, that's done. But because there's business involved and probably contracts or something, then she has the right to sue. It's a bit, but America's litigious, isn't it? They love to sue. So it's less of a thing, I think, to sue because it's what we do, innit? I'm going to get my money, we take, and who, you know, sometimes the words is sue, but it's actually, I actually need to get our contract sorted and we need to get our money together. And the only way to do that is to sue, but I don't actually mean I'm suing like in the way that we're hearing it. You get what I'm saying? It might be the business motion. It's called suing, but I just want my money to be sorted out. This is the way we do it. Afterwards, we figure it out. Either we never speak again or we cut ties, but this is the only way I'm going to get my money. I think it's okay if that's where it is. I think it's a shame. But then 30 years of what type of friendship? Because you can have 30 years of friendship. I've been there. 30 years of friendship. And what type of friendship is it for real on both sides? Is this an equal friendship? Yeah, but
they look tight as hell.
I've got pictures of people that I don't speak to anymore and we look tight as hell.
Yeah.
People on the outside would say, you guys are tight as hell. People might go far and say, that's your best friend or one of your best friends. And on the behind the scenes, I was, in my mind, I'm going through shit because this person's not being a friend in the way that I think a friend should be. And she could possibly say I was doing the same, but I believe she was worse. And when it came to realization that we are not to be friends, we're not to be friends.
Yeah.
But people on the outside might not have known that or would not have known that. Only in a circle knew what the
I
deal
think
was.
it's okay that Misa's suing. I do.
Yeah.
Because for the business of it, like I said before, I feel like Mary may have her business hat on and be thinking about it in different ways. But I think that Misa is right to protect herself because it's a business deal. So in that respect, she should sue for the money. I don't want to say what their relationship was like because it could be toxic on many parts.
Yeah.
You know, Misa could be the person that's toxic to Mary. Misa could be the one that's forcing stuff on, or it could be vice versa. Mary could be the one who's been toxic and is now just like, I don't want to have anything to do with you.
Crash out.
Yeah.
It does feel, it feels harsh to me for how they used to be. I guess it is that thing, isn't it? It's all perception. It's like on each other's posts. It's like, this is my girl. You know, they have so many pictures together. It's like they truly did seem like family in some way, like real long-term collaborators, even if it's just creatively.
Yeah.
Realistically, it is like Misa really did give Mary a look that she's run with.
Absolutely.
And totally like helped her in lots of different ways, style-wise. It's just a shame. I hate it when you see long-term friendships like end. But Mary, in my mind, from what I've seen, does seem to be the enemy of progress. There's involvement of Mary is now seeing her bodyguard, and he wanted to be a manager, and it just feels like Mary is doing what Mary does when a man comes around. And she has form for this, that the man takes precedence and what he's after, he's going to get. And it feels like a huge shame.
Relatable content. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I think that is the worst thing when a man comes in and then friends split apart because one person is like, I'm going to put my man first. And you know they have form for that. And you would hope that Mary would have learnt from Kendu.
I mean, goddamn.
All the others, it's not even just Kendu, but you would have thought that you'd just be like, she's in her 50s, I'm not going to do this again and lose a 30-year friendship. I would have hoped there would be something.
Oh, if I could speak. I don't take it lightly, because it is a shame to lose someone. And what I went through with the person that I lost, it's not nice, because it's like you miss the good times, but you also reflect on, when was this a true friendship? Because if it's not equal, and we talk about it when it comes to man and woman relationships, if it's not equal footing and you're holding back, and where I would say, because again, as you said, it could be Misa, it could be Mary, but if in that friendship someone's holding back, then even if you're the victim in the friendship, you're not being true, which I wasn't being true. I wasn't calling out my friend when she was doing fuckery shit or doing shit that's like, what are you doing? Why are you being like this? And so when I finally was like, I can't take it anymore, they were like, yo.
So
also,
it
could be both of them,
and it could be both of them.
There are relationships that are codependent and they're toxic, because the way the expectation from both parties is not real, and it's not loving or caring. So sometimes you have to drop people off, man.
This is the thing, it's like there's not a lot of convos about the heartache that you experience when you lose a friend.
Absolutely.
So it's like people can be like, oh, I've kind of lost my friendship group, or sack those ones off, or like move on from them. There's always that rhetoric, but actually it's not that simple, especially if they're your foundation friends, to just move on and cut them off. You absolutely can get very codependent in, but I need them. Even what we was talking about with Christabel, it's when you have, especially your black sisterhood, but there is something wrong, and there's something wrong, it's not quite right, but sometimes it's fine. It's very easy to just sweep it under the carpet and just be like, let's just carry on, because, all right, it's not perfect. They're a bit out of order sometimes, but generally,
it's okay.
We're okay. And you can run with it. But I think that experience is probably... sometimes I think it's worse than losing a man.
Listen, it's really hard, because especially when you have known each other for such a long period of time, you share memories that nobody else shares with you. And, like I've lost some friends, and looking on it now, I would say that it's probably for the best for all of us involved, that we're not like that anymore, because of the type of relationship that it was on both parts, but it doesn't mean to say that I still don't miss those people. There's no one that I'm not friends with now that I hate, and I'm like, there's nobody. Like, it's just literally like, we don't speak anymore, not in a malicious way, but we're not that anymore. And you have to sometimes accept. My big thing with friendship is I expect someone to do for me what I would do for them, or to be considerate for me like I would be considerate for you. It can't be one-sided. I don't want to feel like I'm the person that's always reaching out to you. I don't want to feel like you only reach out to me when you want something, or you want to talk about yourself. Like, there has to be give and take.
Yeah, it has to be. I think that's the same. And I think the hurt of losing a friend like that, especially when they're so significant, literally a couple of friends of ours, and we were going through old school photos, and we were like, oh my God. And there's so many photos of a couple of people that are no longer in the crew. And it's like, God damn, like, And even one thing we never thought about is that, because we were like, oh, we've all got different versions of those different pictures. And there's like filling in the gaps of scenarios, like we went together, who's got the other ones? And we're like, they've got the pictures. They have the pictures.
Listen, there's a few of that.
And it's like,
there's some of that.
I'd like to go, I was like, we were joking, like maybe we'd knock on their doors, like, okay, can we have the pictures back, please?
Just the pictures.
Just the pictures, and then slapping the door in their face.
And it's things like, as well, like, if you've got pictures, or if you've got them framed, like, what do you do?
What exactly? There's all of those
framing,
things.
That's interesting.
It's a lot.
The frames, you were a part of that moment in time.
Yeah.
And similarly, like, there's no malice. I just think sometimes you grow in a different way, and you serve different purposes.
Absolutely.
And we don't have to be in each other's asses all the time. There isn't anybody that I would blank. I don't have that. And I always think
not friends.
Peaceful separations.
Yeah.
So we don't have to call each other or anything else. But if I see you out, we ain't got to do that. We're not talking to. I don't have anybody like that. It's just, even if they see me like that, and I've had that. Literally, I didn't even know we were beefing, because I wasn't beefing you. And they have tried to blank me. And it's been like, why are you doing that? Like,
I think I'd say hello.
We don't have to call each other, but don't do that. Just for our dignity of there are so many people that know we've been friends for years. And I would never blank you. I'm never going to blank your kids. I will never do that. So don't do that. And they were like, you know what? Cool. I thought you weren't going to say hello to me. And it's like, I will never do that. We are not enemies. I have no enemies in this world.
Oh, okay. No,
I definitely agree with you there.
I just think it's unnecessary. Unless you harmed me.
No.
But I don't have anyone like
I think the scenario that I'm currently in, we've seen each other. It's not been a lot. It's been quite, and I think twice, and there's been no communication. But the thing for me is because I have been, and again, it's interesting because we haven't had a conversation about us not speaking. So I don't want to remove their right to have an opinion about why we don't speak. So there's that. So I'm definitely giving that room because I don't know. I could have done something and they could be like, this is what you did. And I'd be like, oh shit, I didn't know all this time. My head. But in my mind, it's not that. And in my mind, for once in that person's life, fuck your ego. And you should have come and said, bam, 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 because I believe overall I was a good friend. And I believe that they're in the wrong. So we don't speak. And I'm okay with it. It's not a lot, twice, and it's just been in the same space and just minded our corners. And that's it. And I'm okay with that. And I felt more sad because it's kind of like they're over there and we're all over here. I actually even felt bad for that because I'm like, this is years of friendship that's awry because of that. And it's not about enemies, it's not about hate, because I don't even hate that person at all. And definitely kids are off limits. Kids, if my child saw them, go and hug them. If I saw their kid, hug them. They're like, babe, they're off limits, I think.
Yeah, same.
That's not it. But I just think and I think for me it's a principal thing because I have grown up being a subservient friend. I have grown up being kind of a people pleaser. And in that, I believe that was my standing on business. Like, I'm not going to run you down and say, fix it, because you should, for once in your fucking life, do that. If you value me. And that's what I felt. I felt undervalued and not valued as a friend at a very crucial time that led to the reason why we stopped speaking. So in that, on principle, you have to come to me, and that's it. And because you haven't, you're telling me that you don't care, you don't miss me, you're okay with us not speaking, so that's where it's at. And I think that's on.
I mean,
principle.
I guess that's a beef.
But I don't. It's not beef. It's just like we don't speak. It doesn't have to be
because you
beef.
have a clear marcation.
Yeah. This is the situation.
This is the situation. And if neither party are going to be like, look, we're going to talk about it. I've definitely had that over the years. Like not talk to a friend for like 3 years because it was a clear violation that you did. That's a clear line of beef.
Yeah. Okay.
And in that, because you did the violation, you have to come and patch it up, which you did after 3 years. But I think when there's just a natural like, it's not working anymore.
I think that's where I'm at with
this friendship isn't serving either. We're not being our best in this space.
Yeah.
It can be a quiet separation. Like, we ain't got a beef over it. I haven't got to tell you this is how you have to be a friend to me.
And I don't think tell me.
Yeah.
No, it can just be like, cool, innit? The years were good when they
were
good.
good. I have fond memories, but I'm okay with
But I think if someone's sitting there, and that's in general terms now, if someone's sitting there sad, and then you know that you could reach out, but you're not, then you're doing yourself a disservice.
I think so. I think when it's sitting on you, or you keep on like replaying, if they called me, this is what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Just put your ego to one side and have the convo.
But then I think if you've had that convo multiple times over multiple years,
that's different.
You can't keep repeating yourself.
Yeah, that's different.
You have to get to a point sometimes for both of you where it's like, I don't like your reaction to this and you don't like my reaction. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't like what you do, you don't like what I do. What is the point of us dragging this
and
out?
that's like if it was a man.
It's also awkward when we're around each other now because we don't actually know how to be. So maybe we just don't be.
Don't be.
That's the horrible times, like when you know you're just in a weird space with a friend and it's like... Yeah, sometimes you just got to let that person
go.
That's it. You just got to let it go. And it's sad because I think definitely when me and a significant friend stopped speaking, there were moments because we had times together. So there's certain places I'd be like imagine if we just, and it would just be all the same. And then you have those moments, but then you realise that actually, every good memory, there's a bit, and then they did that later on in the day. It was like,
they were an arsehole.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's interesting.
Oh.
But Misa and Mary, it's interesting. Your star sign is interesting. It's very, very relatable content. And that's all I will say.
You can't really come back from a suing like that. It's 5 million.
I think you can come back from a suing of his business. If you recognise, like, you know what, I was a dickhead, and you lot, and also if you know each other's character, because sometimes you actually not like, I know you, and I'm going to sue you.
If you took money from me,
but you also, if you know your fuckery, and you're like, all right, I was in my feelings.
I'm suing you. Give me my money.
Yeah. But there's also when you know someone so well, you could bounce back. I don't want to speak on them. They could bounce back. It could be, but it's a, Mary, what are you doing? And then Misa, what did you do? Because I don't trust both of you because of both of your star signs.
Somebody suing me on.
And
you being attacked.
Why suing you? Madeleine McCann's case is getting more money.
Let's do that.
I mean, there's not much to say. They're getting 150k more, 150,000. Yeah. Why?
I hate that I feel this way.
I hate that I feel this way as well.
But there's people being stolen every day, and we don't hear about them. And this girl, what are we on? It's 20 years, surely.
Hold on one second. I have got the facts here.
I've been living with this story forever. It must be about 20 years old.
So for those who don't know, Madeleine McCann vanished in 2007 whilst on holiday in Praia da Luz, Portugal, at the age of 3. On the night she disappeared, her younger twin siblings, Sean and Amelie were 2 years old at the time, were also asleep in the same apartment. All these kids had been left unattended by the parents, Kate and Jerry McCann, who were dining at a restaurant nearby. It was a scandalous case of the century. There was a suspect, Christian Bruckner, who remains under investigation in Germany, though he's recently been cleared of separate sex offence charges. He's been the number one suspect, and the parents have too. Kate and Jerry have been suspects over the years. And they've sued multiple people for defamation, all that type of stuff. So they've won damages from several publications and all that type of stuff. However, it's been ongoing, and this brings total funding since 2011 to more than 13.2 million.
Yeah, fuck off. I'm sorry. I'm fucking sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry that your daughter is missing. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry for you. But do you know how many people are missing?
Honestly.
Do you know how many hundreds and thousands of people are missing and no one invests in that shit?
Yeah.
It doesn't ever happen.
It's wild.
13 fucking million. For people who were neglectful parents.
Yeah.
Why is no one talking about that?
But they do. They have. And she sues them.
The government.
Yeah.
No, I'm not even saying that they did something to the kids. What I am saying, what is fact, is that you left your 3 children in a foreign country,
3-year-old and under 3,
unattended.
Yeah,
you did that while you went and had fucking dinner.
Yeah,
you're fucking mad.
Yeah,
and you should be investigated, and your other kids should have been clapped from you if you think that that's acceptable. Had they been black or brown or anything,
working,
no one would be giving them a red cent, a penny, nothing, nada. They would get nothing.
18 years.
They would be hung, quartered,
benefits, scammers,
you're not even
all of that.
Being able to leave your house, you'd have to leave the country if these were black folk.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't even have come back from Portugal to your house. You'd have to have flown to wherever it is that your family came from, if you're lucky that you have somewhere else to go to.
Yeah.
But you couldn't live here. These guys have been able to live here, have their kids. Your kids are 20 now. Madeleine's 21. Is she still around? But the point is, she didn't need to be taken. And you're lucky all of the children that were left in that apartment weren't taken. That's what all of the families involved in this were lucky that didn't take place. But for the McCanns, why do you deserve all of this money?
And why are you still... Because I get that... Okay, if you believe that this is... She's out there.
Yeah,
that's on you believe it. But why are you getting government money or getting this money?
Do it with your money.
Do it with your money.
I
think you come from money, don't you?
I fucking hate the fact. Aren't they like well-to-do people?
Yeah,
I fucking like professionals of some sort. I hate the fact that they are getting my money.
Yeah,
I fucking hate it. I go to work and I pay taxes, and I hate the fact that they are getting any of it. I would rather give my money to a single parent or a family who are on disability, who need fucking help and are struggling with their fucking pittance of money that they get from the government.
Right.
Yeah,
that they get
if there was a fund and people like low-income families could put in money and put in an application and get £500 each, I'd be that's money well spent.
Definitely.
And you've been searching for 18 years.
And look, if you did a GoFundMe and a crowdfund, that's your business. If people want to donate off their own back, but don't have it government sanctioned. And that's what makes it very easy conspiracy theory fodder. Because what is going on? Why this child? It's like you can get all the theories. This kind of sacrifice. What is going on that this is such a case that needs this attention? What is going on?
When black people go missing, when black teenagers or whoever, okay, she was a child, right? But when black children, actually, I'm going to say it again, when black children go missing, the police don't even want to fucking search for them.
No.
They don't want to search for them.
But it doesn't even go on the
missing. Exactly, go on the missing list, like the organisations, and see how many black children are out there, and it's unexplained.
Yeah.
And then when they're found in precarious circumstances, they'll say, "Oh, it was a suicide."
Yeah, right off
straight away.
Those deaths by water that haven't been.
This is what I'm talking about. Straight away, it was a suicide.
There's some. I don't want to be woo-woo tin foil hat, but why is this the case?
I'm over it. I'm over it now.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, this should now be family funds.
Yeah, absolutely. And it should be
like you guys every so often. Oh, we managed to get 50,000 and we're searching again. Like family funds. I don't think this should be governmental.
You can search for your family member till the day that you die. I'm not going to say that you shouldn't, and you absolutely should.
Yeah,
but what you shouldn't do is expect to have government fund you.
No.
And you know what? Even if this guy who they got in Germany eventually, I wouldn't even necessarily believe, because it's so weird that I might not even believe. You might be like, oh, do you know what? Leave me alone. I'm just going to confess. I might as well just get the prison food and be done with it. Like I don't trust anything around this anymore.
I know.
Any information that comes up, I don't. He's been cleared of sex offences. I don't know who he is. I don't know what his background is.
I mean, there's cases where people are cleared of sex offences and they definitely did it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know who he is.
There's one documentary on Netflix about a man who did a whole bunch of shit, and was cleared, and he was interviewed by the local news agencies and all of these types of things, and he definitely did that shit. So I don't know about this man. But what I am saying is, though, you left your children alone in a foreign country, unattended, to go and have food. You could have ordered fucking room service.
Honestly, or bring them with you.
One person can stay.
Yeah.
Why do all of you need to go?
It's like, no,
this is not like...
They're all terrible.
This is not...
All of them.
Even if okay, I had to go to work, because people get arrested and put in jail for leaving their kids
who are fucking going.
I need to go and get. I'm a single mother, a single parent. Need to run to the corner shop to get something for my kid. You could get in trouble.
Let's look at this. Yeah, do you remember the woman that had mental health problems?
Yes.
And she left her children inside, and she locked the door because she thought she doesn't want anyone to get access to them. And while she was in Sainsbury's, her house burnt down, and her children died. People are coming after her.
Yeah,
and
she's jailed.
And she is in jail.
And she's lost all her
jail for neglect.
Yeah.
She's in jail.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
So this is the thing. Her kid.
Look at that.
Her kid passed away, but you know what I mean? Like, what's the?
Because there was no punishment.
There was none
for what took place. I think for all of the parents, who left their kids in an apartment. I know at the time people were like, but this is what you do on
No, it
this
isn't.
Is what you guys do.
That's not what I do.
No.
I don't even leave my kid in the car when I go to the shop.
Like they're
coming with me.
I've been in situations. I think there was a time when my daughter was very, very, very sick. And because she used to get asthma and we spent a lot of time in A&E, I remember one time, and it was an emotional moment. I was like, oh my God, okay, our corner shop is literally 5 minutes away. So I ran downstairs to go, I ran out of Calpol. Otherwise, I would have to pack her up and take her, and I don't drive. So all of that. So I ran downstairs.
And also, this is pre-delivery days.
And it's very clear. This was pre-delivery days. So I ran downstairs to go and get the couple. I was shitting myself. So there's an element of like, I understand tight situations and people...
That's 5 minutes.
...are in tight situations.
That makes sense. Going out to
5 minutes.
Now, let's say she's a little bit sick. Because remember, there was evidence that they had given them stuff.
Calpol, innit?
Yeah, to make them go sleep.
So that they all slept through the night.
Imagine if that went left.
To go and eat dinner together and to come back and one of the kids... Take me. I need to sit down in prison for a minute.
And that's what they need to do. They need to hold a sentence because you just got off scot-free and people are just
there
like,
shouldn't be all of this money going out.
Yeah.
Why is no one talking about that?
But they do. They have. And she sues them.
The government... No, I'm not even saying that they did something to the kids. What I am saying, what is fact, is that you left your 3 children in a foreign country,
3-year-old and under 3,
unattended.
Yeah,
you did that while you went and had fucking dinner.
Yeah,
you're fucking mad.
Yeah,
like, and you should be investigated, and your other kids should have been clapped from you if you think that that's acceptable. Had they been black or brown or anything,
working,
no one would be giving them a red cent, a penny, nothing, nada. They would get nothing.
They would be hung, quartered,
benefits, scammers,
you're not even
all of that.
Being able to leave your house, you'd have to leave the country if these were black folk.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't even have come back from Portugal to your house. You'd have to have flown to wherever it is that your family came from, if you're lucky that you have somewhere else to go to. But you couldn't live here. These guys have been able to live here, have their kids. Your kids are 20 now. Madeleine's 21, if she's still around. But the point is, she didn't need to be taken. And you're lucky all of the children that were left in that apartment weren't taken. That's what all of the families involved in this were lucky that didn't take place. But for the McCanns, why do you deserve all of this money?
And why are you still... Because I get that... Okay, if you believe that this is... She's out there.
Yeah,
that's what you believe it. But why are you getting government money or getting...
Do it with your money.
Do it with your money. Do it. I think you come from money, don't you?
I fucking hate the fact... Aren't they like well-to-do people?
Yeah.
I fucking like professionals of some sort. I hate the fact that they are getting my money.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it. I go to work and I pay taxes, and I hate the fact that they are getting any of it. I would rather give my money to a single parent or a family who are on disability, who need fucking help and are struggling with their fucking pittance of money that they get from the government. Yeah?
That they get scapegoated.
If there was a fund and people, like low-income families, could put in money and put in an application and get £500 each, I'd be that's money well spent.
Definitely.
And you've been searching for 18 years.
And look, if you did a GoFundMe and a crowdfund, that's your business. If people want to donate off their own back, but don't have it government sanctioned. And that's what makes it very easy conspiracy theory fodder. Because what is going on? Why this chart? It's like you can get all the theories. This kind of sacrifice. What is going on that this is such a case that needs this attention? What is going on?
When black people go missing, when black teenagers or whoever, okay, she was a child, right? But when black children, actually, I'm going to say it again, when black children go missing, the police don't even want to fucking search for them.
No.
They don't want to search for them.
But it doesn't even go on the
missing.
news.
Exactly, go on the missing list, like the organisations, and see how many black children are out there, and it's unexplained.
Yeah.
And then when they're found in precarious circumstances, they'll say, "Oh, it was a suicide."
Yeah, right off
straight away.
Those deaths by water that haven't been.
This is what I'm talking about. Straight away, it was a suicide.
There's some. I don't want to be woo-woo tinfoil hat, but why is this the case?
I'm over it now.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, this should now be family funds.
Yeah, absolutely. And it should be.
It should be like you guys every so often. Oh, we managed to get 50,000 and we're searching again. Like family funds. I don't think this should be governmental.
You can search for your family member till the day that you die. I'm not going to say that you shouldn't, and you absolutely should.
Yeah,
but what you shouldn't do is expect to have government fund you.
No.
And you know what? Even if this guy who they got in Germany eventually, I wouldn't even necessarily believe, because it's so weird that I might not even believe. You might be like, oh, do you know what? Leave me alone. I'm just going to confess. I might as well just get the prison food and be done with it. Like I don't trust anything around this anymore.
I know.
Any information that comes up, I don't. He's been cleared of sex offences. I don't know who he is. I don't know what his background is.
I mean, there's cases where people are cleared of sex offences and they definitely did it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know who he is.
There's one documentary on Netflix about a man who did a whole bunch of shit, and was cleared, and he was interviewed by the local news agencies and all of these types of things, and he definitely did that shit. So I don't know about this man. But what I am saying is, though, you left your children alone in a foreign country, unattended, to go and have food. You could have ordered fucking room service.
Honestly, or bring them with you.
One person can stay.
Yeah.
Why do all of you need to go?
It's like, no,
this is not like,
they're all terrible.
This is not
all of them.
Even if okay, I had to go to work, because people get arrested and put in jail for just like leaving their kids
for leaving their kids who are
the way,
fucking
you know, like
going,
I need to go and get. I'm a single mother, a single parent. Need to run to the corner shop to get something for my kid. You could get in trouble.
Let's look at this. Yeah, do you remember the woman that had mental health problems?
Yes.
And she left her children inside, and she locked the door because she thought she doesn't want anyone to get access to them. And while she was in Sainsbury's, her house burnt down, and her children died. People are coming after her.
Yeah,
she's
jailed.
And she is in jail.
And she's lost all her
jail for neglect.
Yeah.
She's in jail.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
So this is the thing. Her kid.
Look at that.
Her kid passed away, but you know what I mean? Like, what's the?
Because there was no punishment.
There was none
for what took place. I think for all of the parents, who left their kids in an apartment. I know at the time people were like, but this is what you do on
No, it
this
isn't.
Is what you guys do.
That's not what I do.
No.
I don't even leave my kid in the car when I go to the shop.
Like they're
coming with me.
I've been in situations. I think there was a time when my daughter was very, very, very sick. And because she used to get asthma and we spent a lot of time in A&E, I remember one time, and it was an emotional moment. I was like, oh my God, okay, our corner shop is literally 5 minutes away. So I ran downstairs, I ran out of Calpol. Otherwise I would have to pack her up and take her, and I don't drive. So all of that. So I ran downstairs.
And also this is pre-delivery days.
And it's very clear, this was pre-delivery days. So I ran downstairs to go and get the Calpol. I was shitting myself. So there's an element of like, I understand tight situations and people
that's 5 minutes.
are in tight situations.
That makes sense. Going out to
5
eat.
minutes.
Now let's say she's a little bit sick. Because remember, there was evidence that they had given them stuff.
Calpol, innit?
Yeah,
to make them go sleep.
So that they all slept through the night.
Imagine if that went left.
To go and eat dinner together and to come back and one of the kids, take me. I need to sit down in prison for a minute.
And that's what they need to do. They need to hold a sentence because you just got off scot-free and people are just
there
like,
shouldn't be all of this money going out. Just want to get you guys' thoughts on this. Any Aluko versus Ian Wright. So Eni was out here, and I think a while ago we did have Eni in the bin. I can't remember what she did.
Sounds like us.
But I think we gave her Enemy of Progress for something. But she was out here talking about women's football and that the punditry of it all is still got men doing it and they're not allowing women in.
She specifically said.
And she spoke about Ian Wright, that this is, there's like gatekeepering afoot. And she mentioned Ian Wright, yeah. Then in the backlash of it all, she issued an apology and was like, you know what, I spoke out of turn. What I really was talking about was that there should just be more space for women to talk about women's football and to be the pundits of it. And I shouldn't have come for Ian Wright. Sorry, my bad. Ian Wright came back and was like, I'm not accepting your apology.
I have to talk about this week and what's gone on. I don't want to endlessly be asked about it. I've got to say I'm very disappointed by what Eni has said. She knows how I've helped her, supported her publicly. And I know the previous conversations she's had with me and my management. So for me, I've seen the apology on social media, but I can't accept it. But I also want to move on from it. For anyone watching this, I really don't need any further social commentary directed at anyone on this. But the thing about where the women's game is that it can't be about individuals like me. It has to be about the collective. And because of the past, we know the men blocked the women's game for 50 years. Because of the past, and the game has serious systemic challenges, and it's going to take, I should say, everyone to help fix it. So for me, I'll always give back to the game. It's given me so much.
Should Ian Wright accept her apology just because she apologized? Or is Eni in the bin for even mentioning Ian Wright, although he's helped her?
And she's also now stepped down. She's had to leave her job, her presenting job, because of the backlash.
That's a shame.
That's just happened. I don't think he doesn't have to forgive her if he doesn't want to. I just think as an uncle, he shouldn't have brought it to the streets. He could have just... He didn't have.
Oh, you think he didn't need to do the video?
I don't think he needed to do the video because I think she's out of. There's a few things. When you're talking, when we're podding or doing something, sometimes you speak and you draw for what comes to your mind, and there's not always the time to rectify it. So maybe she just drew on Ian's name. Maybe she drew on Ian's name as a quick name that she knew and didn't necessarily really mean to throw him under the bus. It could be that.
Okay.
Also, you know the man's helped you. Why are you mentioning his name? So there's all of those things that she made a mistake. I definitely think she made a mistake in naming him, especially if it's absolutely true that he supported her in her career and has had her back. Don't name drop me like that. You made a faux pas. You came back and apologised. I hope that behind the scenes you apologised to him as well, directly, because you know him. But for him to come, I think he could say, I don't want to talk about it. Me and Annie are dealing with it behind the scenes. I'm not happy, but we'll talk about it behind the scenes. I think as an uncle, he could have done that because she is getting, I think, unnecessary backlash about this. I don't think it's that deep, and she definitely doesn't need to lose her job. She didn't say bun men and fuck Ian. She didn't do all of that. She just said there are men like Ian Wright taking up space.
Did she step down or did they sack her?
I think she stepped up. I think it says she has to, let me check, but
because I didn't know that she had stepped down. I think I definitely believe that is quite harsh.
It's unnecessary.
For what her comments were, I could be personally offended if I know I've helped your career.
Yeah.
And I think you may be right. But I thought he was okay in saying, I'm not accepting it. But if she's lost her job,
she's quit. It says she's quit amongst the controversy. And I think some headlines are saying traumatized. Maybe that's her quote. I haven't opened up anything. So maybe it was too much she couldn't take and she wants to step away from the public eye.
Okay.
Because it might be a lot. She might not be able to deal
with
it.
Well, my thoughts are that women's football has been overlooked for decades.
Yeah.
And since the women won the Euros, people are starting to know about it a bit more. When I listen to the radio every day, when they talk about football, they mention the men's games and they mention the women's games. That was not happening before.
Yeah.
I think it's important for everybody to highlight the brilliance of the game in the women's game, the women's league, all of that stuff. I think it's important. And I think if we're talking about gatekeeping, it shouldn't be gatekept by women, because there are women pundits who talk about the men's leagues. And I think for someone like Ian Wright, who is so iconic in the world of football and knowledgeable and just, an all-round, people love him, right? In terms of his knowledge and what he achieved as a footballer, because he makes a point to talk about football, women's football, and is passionate and it isn't performative. He takes his granddaughter to football. He shows images about that. He is a champion for the women's game and encourages people to watch and to go to these matches. So I think people like that are needed so that the game is seen and taken seriously. So to come for somebody like that and make those statements, it could have been throwaway. It could have just been the first name on the tip of your tongue. Maybe your statement, you should have said that.
Yeah.
Right? And especially if this is a man that has helped you and highlighted all the things that are achieved, I think that's wrong. In terms of him going online and saying that he doesn't accept her apology, at the end of the day, she took it to socials. She said what she said.
She didn't take it to socials. She said it.
Where did she say it?
Said it on a live in an interview.
So she said it.
She said it publicly.
She said it publicly.
Yeah.
So I think he is entitled to respond publicly. I understand what you're saying about the uncle of it all and all of that kind of stuff. But if you're hurt by something, especially if you are a champion, why should you just sit down and be like, I'm going to be the big person for this?
Yeah.
I don't think. But he's the icon that has been championing this thing. Why should he just be quiet about it?
I don't think it's quiet.
Because then maybe if he's quiet about it, people might assume that he's like, there's a point. There's not a point.
No, I think he can make, do you know what? I'm not sure, but I just felt I felt bad for her, that I felt bad. So it's not a question. I think he has the right. I think he has the right to speak up.
Yeah.
He has the right to say what he has the right to do what he wants, and if he doesn't want to accept it. But I just felt funny with him saying, I don't accept that apology, because yes, she made a mistake, but I think it's elderman status. I think if someone came and I'm older, I think I might be like, I don't like what she said. She apologised. We'll deal with it off scene. And you can go on to say everything else that he said.
Yeah. I suppose
everything else that he said about it
but at the same time, I feel like he's entitled to bring it out publicly.
Yeah, that part
she did. I think that it is wrong if she's had to step down or has felt like she's been forced to step down, because she knows what she's talking about. And there needs to be more people like that. And then now look what's going to happen. There's going to be less women out there doing what they should be doing. So I don't like the idea of that. She's also entitled to her opinion, But I think because of the relationship with Ian Wright and because of the fact that he is someone that talks about it, like I don't see many ex-professional footballers of his stature championing the women's game as much as he does.
And I think
I just don't see it.
Everything else, everything is that is right. I think that's all good. And fair.
I'm thinking about it holistically, and for the black community, I hate this optics-wise.
Yeah.
Was why I was like, I think we got to touch on it. And I think I agree. I would have these are the things where it's like, I would like the in-houseness of it all.
Yeah.
That, yes, he was disrespected publicly, but I would really have liked a moment for, in his stature as an elder, to be like, I'm not going to allow you to become fodder for the racists.
Exactly.
And then he keeps it in-house, and me and you are you're going to hear my wrath on what you did, but I'm not going to leave you for the wolves. And I feel like that's what he did. And I think that's where you need to, that's where we need to reestablish the lines of the elders to the youngers. And what we do in our community is we keep it so that you are safe. I think what he's done is actually out of order to have left her, to say, I'm not accepting your apology. You could believe that.
Yeah.
But to say it publicly, that does give license to people to be in her mentions and quoting her off every day. And I think as an elder, he should have been like, I'm never going to allow that to happen to a young black woman in the UK, not under my watch. I needed Ian Wright to take that on. And
I think that's what, because even she made the mistake, it was wrong for you, and she apologized quickly as well. And I'm not saying, because also as we said, we might put her in the bin. I can't remember what we put her in the bin for. I don't want to say, because I might be.
Like it was something. It was something. Stories. It was
something a little bit like yeah. But anyway, so she might even be just a dodgy person. We don't know. I don't know her personally. I don't know her morals or ethics or anything like that. So this might be form for her. Like we're talking about friendship. She might be a bit woo way, and he's like,
he may know more.
Yeah, he may know more, but. Going based on the turn of events, it's like, made a mistake, apologised, and I just...
Okay, but then you know what I have to say about that? I hear you, I understand, possibly. But with the same respect that we're expecting from Ian as an elder, she should have had that respect
she should have,
for her elder. Because you could have thrown a white man under the bus.
Yeah.
You could have done
there was
that.
no reason to say his name, definitely.
Yeah, she made it... Yeah.
You don't need to... But I guess the thing is, it's in the stature, innit? Like, she isn't as prominent as him. Mm-hmm. But for him to be like, I'm not accepting it, the ramifications are much more.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Her talking on it. And I think it's that, yes, she definitely needed to have a swift reprimand, but he didn't need to do it that way. That was quite harsh. And I don't like that she doesn't have a position.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Yeah,
I think that's really bad.
I don't know how old she is. We're not trying to infantilise her. Either you're a grown-ass woman, do better. But at the same time,
that young.
It's that you're not that young. You should have really, I don't know what mistake, but it is something in that felt a little bit basic, petty. Like, you're not a little man. You're a big man. And you're a big man in you're OG, you're Oga. So it's a bit like, you didn't need to do that, because also, because I think even there were 3 lionesses like of the women's football team that were like, we stand with Ian, we don't stand with any. And then it's just so easy, and not to make about race, but to make about race. It's so easy to shit on a black woman. Like, it's so easy. And...
but you know what? I fucking also hate when we don't call this shit out. I actually can't stand when we just protect people who have done wrong. Like, I feel like if someone has done something wrong, we need to speak on it. Yeah. Because then what does she then turn out to be? A fucking Kemi? Is that where it goes?
No, I agree that she gets called out.
If it's because Kemi started from somewhere.
Yeah.
If it's, and I'm not saying she is a Kemi, but I'm saying it does start from somewhere. So if we don't call out people when they've done fuckeries, or made mistakes, if we don't do that, where is it going to end?
No,
we need to be held accountable for what we do as well. How can people take us seriously if we're doing don't say this in public? Like,
the only thing I wish he didn't say was, I don't forgive her. Everything else he said was on point. He could have even said, no, she's damn out of order. Take the piss.
Okay, fair enough.
But it's just because the not forgiver means that stamp of approval for go at her, because even King Ian doesn't have it. He's not forgiving. That's a big thing to say, because generally forgiveness is a big thing, you know. Like, it's a big thing. We take it seriously, wherever you're from. Like, forgiveness is another level.
Yeah, but
so
maybe
when
he
he's saying
doesn't
that,
forgive her.
no, I get
maybe
it. It's not, the world doesn't have to know that. I think
But,
that's the only bit.
then what
That's the
we're
only bit.
doing, but then what we're doing is expecting him not to be in his feelings and to have any emotion about this relationship that he's built with this person, and she has publicly shat on him. So maybe, like, why should we expect him not to be in his? I saw his post, and he looked quite emotional about it. It's not like he was sitting there being like, "Yeah, bun her."
No, he didn't.
He wasn't doing that. So I feel like the expectation for men to just man up and be quiet and not say anything.
I didn't say man up.
But I'm just I'm saying that. Yeah, I'm saying that. I didn't say you did. I am saying that. The expectation for him not to be able to show his feelings, I think we need to remove that shit. He's in his feelings about it because of everything that he feels like he's done for her and the game.
Fair.
I still
hear
think he is an elder, and it's what comes along with being an elder is that sometimes the youngers are going to shit on you. And in your position of being an authority, you have to then be like, I'm not allowing you to take the piss out of me, but you don't send the wolves after this girl.
Yeah.
Because she did apologise.
I think that's fair.
That's effective parenting.
That's what I'm saying.
Your kids do shit, innit? Like, and people do horrible ththings. You're a mentor. People do things that you're gonna be like, but I really helped you. I just think you fed her to the wolves.
It's
man.
a little bit of that.
It was a bit hard.
I don't think it's not shutting up. It's not like doing anything. It's not, because men, yes, show your emotions, but there's an element, because the minute you set up a camera to speak to camera, and afterwards at the end he did say, and I don't want it to be, sorry Ian, sorry, we are talking about it. He said, I don't want any more conversation about this. It's done. I'm done. But you still set up the camera. We say it. People that set up the camera to then talk. There's an element of premeditation in it. There is.
Yeah. He could have been in his car, in his feelings. Like, this is.
I get it.
I think we're taken away from his feelings.
I'm not.
I think there was an element of taking away from his feelings and saying he set up a camera. He's on his phone in the car. It's not like he came to a fucking studio.
No, but
he could have been. It was blowing up online. Yeah? Everyone was talking about it. Everywhere he's going, he's probably hearing the noise, and he just thought, you know what? I'm just going to come out and say something. It's not like he was reading from a script. Like you said,
he was saying his piece.
Just talking. Like you said. Sometimes when you're in this environment, you might say stuff that you might not necessarily, given some thought, if it was written down, you may not have said that. Yeah? So maybe the comment about, I don't forgive her, I agree with you, that is a bit harsh. But if he felt like that in the moment, I think that he was entitled to say that. What he could have then said is, please don't come for her. It's over, it's done.
That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough.
Find a way
but I don't think that we should have expected him to just stay quiet.
No, I never, but that's not what
you did. You said that he shouldn't have said anything.
No,
the first thing is that he took it online.
No, I'm not.
That he took it publicly.
No, I'm talking about the forgive bit. The only part that's what I keep saying.
You did say that as well.
No, the only part I'm have an issue with is the forgive bit.
Okay.
Everything else, I've said it multiple times. He has every right to say what he said, and he could have cussed her. He could have told her off. I've literally said that. The only thing I thought was a bit much was that I don't forgive, because saying that you don't forgive to the world, it's like then because when are you going to come back and say I've forgiven her? So it's left
possibly.
Do you know what I mean? He might do, but he has, like, when is he going to come back and say I actually forgiven her? And actually, do you know? Or
possibly they may appear on something together.
Maybe, but that's what I'm saying. There's time that would be nice. An ideal
if
thing.
There was a moment of, okay, guys, I may have been a bit harsh, and especially now, I just think she doesn't deserve all of this, and she's been going through it as well. Like, she has other. Isn't she suing a newspaper or something?
Yeah, yes. Oh.
Yeah, she's suing. Like, she's
going through some stuff.
She's in the mire, and it just felt like this is another thing. I mean, sometimes though, you know, if any wanted to come on and discuss it further, like, I would want to hear her story. Yeah, because I do think. In everything, it's like, it's public, you're going through something, and sometimes that everything comes at once, innit?
Yeah.
Like, you know, all of the floodgates come out, and you don't know how you're going to rise out of the ashes from it. Sometimes the universe does that. I would like to hear her story on this, because it is a lot.
Absolutely.
And he just kind of added more onto it. But I also understand, if you're flipping minding your own business, doing your thing, and you're hearing like, oh, you're a gatekeeper, also get
that's a strong word.
That's the clip that clearly in this current time, I'm not against him coming out and saying fuck all. It was just the forgive that niggled me. And I was a bit like...
It did just feel like he just kind of threw her out there. But I do want to hear all of the bits.
And even from him.
To her as well.
I wouldn't mind hearing from him, like, what if, like, actually... Why wouldn't you forgive her? Because also it's a big thing when someone's
because if they have a relationship,
and that's
if they truly have a relationship and he's truly helped her, and because of what he does for the game, that could be very hurtful.
But that's what I'm saying.
We were talking about before on the extra show. I can't say that. Sorry. We've spoken about before when you think that you mean something to somebody in in a work environment, and then you realise that you don't mean something. It's an emotional thing.
Yeah.
So I truly believe
he was right not
when
to go
he
to
made
the wedding.
No. No. Again, you shouldn't say that because it's not correlated to anyway, whatever. I think that he was right. He wasn't not right. He's entitled to express his opinion.
Yes.
I also think that she was entitled to express her opinion, but the fact that she came back and said, actually, no, not him. Because I get what she means. I get what she means.
Who knows? Again, this is exploration. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. This is exploration. We don't know if she's like, yes, he has helped me, but then it's like one day he just sent her an email and said, look, there's a job going, go for that. And that's the extent of the help. The love of the game that he's talking about, that's all good. Mm-hmm. What is the nature of how he helped her? Because also
that's kind of what I would like to hear.
Yeah, from both sides.
Yeah,
actually.
like what the thing is, because I'm presuming like he really helped.
Yeah, I'm presuming. I never doubted that.
I mean,
I'm not doubting that.
Who knows which way it went around? But I would really like to hear her story a bit more, because every time we hear of her, it does seem to be like she's either fighting somebody in something, or something is happening.
Could be her. And also,
and it's like, what's going on?
I mean, I've always claimed Ian as my brother because he's a Scorpio like me, so he's emotional. He is emotional.
There you go.
And he's like, but everything but the forgive. Because if Ian Wright said he didn't forgive me, I'd be hurt.
Yeah.
And when someone said, if we argued and you're like, I don't forgive you.
Yeah.
No, it's a burn.
It's
a burn.
Of course it does. But if that's how you fucking feel at the time, there are things that are unforgivable. You.
That's what I'm kind of wondering.
There's levels to you.
Right? And that's why I'm saying, because actually maybe what she said to me is not unforgivable, but behind the scenes, if he literally paid for her whole training to be a presenter.
Even if he hasn't paid for her whole training to be a presenter, because of, I'll say it again, because of what he does for the benefit of the game, I can understand if someone's hurt by that. Yeah. For your name to be slung into that group when it's not you, when there's other people.
When you've been trying to be.
But what if, and this is a scenario, I'm not saying that he's done this. What if you're talking about the game, you're upselling the game, you're putting women's football on the map, but there was a job going and you're like, I'm going for that. And you know that actually a woman could have gone for that.
Again, I'll go back to my original statement. Yeah. I don't think that we should be saying in this.
I'm not. Let me finish. Okay, let me finish then before you add that. No,
you phrase the question.
No, before you finish, just so I can add on before you say that I'm definitely not saying that men shouldn't do that role. That's all. Go on.
But then what's the point of your question then? Because what's the point?
Because I'm saying that
if you are saying that men shouldn't go for that role, why should he not go for that role then? If you're saying there's a job going and she could have gone for it, or a woman could have gone for it, but he's gone for it, you are saying that he should have gone for the role.
Okay, maybe there's been opportunities and he's taken those roles. I'm not saying men shouldn't, but if there's like, do you know what? Yeah, maybe it's like, if there's a thing where...
No, because my answer to that is no, because I also believe if you are good at your job and you're knowledgeable, anybody should be able to do that. There are amazing women pundits, football pundits, and they should not be told that because, in fact, they are fucking told all the time, what do you know about football?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're told that all the time, and it's wrong, because these are people who are either professionals, ex-professionals in the game, or have crafted and learned and love the game and are knowledgeable about it, and they have as much to say as a man. I believe the same for women's football. If a man is passionate about it and he knows what he's chatting about, he should be given the same opportunities. Whoever is best for the role should get the role.
But this is why we get into DEI, affirmative action. When you feel like when there's a lack of representation of a certain gender,
let's be honest as well.
Race
let's be honest as well. Yeah, the other thing that I talked about is Ian Wright's stature. if you want to get more people watching this thing, it is important for people who are known as icons in the game to talk about it.
I'm just asking.
Previously,
I don't know about...
these people weren't talking about this game, and then the people, like women's football, the numbers of people that were going to watch the game, the channels that it was available to watch on was so limited. It was limited
because I don't watch sport TV at all. So I don't know. I have seen an increase in women pundits. I've definitely seen an increase. All I'm just wondering is if there is a sufficient amount of women talking about women's football. I'm not saying that men who love football can't talk about women's football. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that if there's like, okay, let's go for Ian, and let's go for Ian, and let's go for Ian in this space, and there's a bunch of women that, you're good and and you're da-da-da-da, but you're not getting a chance to be in this space because Ian, is that happening? I don't know.
It doesn't even matter if it is.
Does it not?
Because it's still an emerging market. I think sometimes you have to really think of the marketing of it all. The fact that he could be doing punditry for anything. And if he is like, I'm going to lend my credibility and support to women's football because I see that it needs eyes on it and I'm prepared to do that, what's the problem? Because there are, and sometimes it's like you kind of got to do that for a period of time. It doesn't have to be forever, but for a period of time to get people being involved in the game, to want to even watch it, to have eyes on it, you do need leaders.
Yeah, I understand that.
I think as well.
You can't, it shouldn't just be, I'm not going to take that job and I'm going to have Any do it because Any wants to be a pundit. Who's watching Any?
No, I know.
It's like actually sometimes.
I'm just asking about the numbers.
The other thing as well to remember is that there is an element of bringing, shedding light on something that isn't being shed light on. Breaking from the norm of what people's expectations are about the game. And Ian Wright has also benefited from that himself because he came into the professional world at a much later age than most footballers, right? So he is showing that you don't have to fit inside of this box. There is beauty in the variation of the people that play this beautiful sport. I'm going to chat about it for everybody.
No, I get that. But also Any's making a point. So I'm not. And
she's making a point, but it's not the person that she used to make the point about.
Because she made a point. There's a reason why she said Ian's name. We don't know. Like that's what we said. We want to speak to her. She apologized. He said, "How dare you? I helped you." But she's making a point, taking it away from Ian.
I mean, you didn't say how dare you.
I mean, just on the whole.
She's actually saying
on
something
the thing
as well.
of like women should be the pundits of it. I agree with what Farah's saying. No, not at this moment in time.
Oh, interesting.
Like it's not there yet.
I mean, I don't care. I actually don't care. I'm just asking.
It's not there yet. And I played football throughout school. Like literally at one stage wanted to be a footballer. It's not there. Like allow this to grow and have its time. Is why the girls were like, we stand with Ian as well. You want eyes on your game. You're not here training for nothing. Somebody to come and be like, oh, but I want to be the pundit. Allow it to.
Before she can walk.
It's just allow it to grow, and then we can start talking about representation. Who's in it? She already has you're building your reputation as well. You haven't been in it as long as him either. It's like sometimes it's that. And I understand when people try and be like, no, but I should be the face of because I am a part of it. It's like allow the market to actually grow and then you can slot in. Don't cut it before it grows. It's like black cinema or theatre and people are like, oh, it should be this type of thing that's done. And you kind of shut down black films growing from blaxploitation. You could be like, it wasn't quite what we wanted, but if you had allowed people's talents to grow, we may have had a thriving film community if you allowed it to take place. But people kind of shut things before, being like, it should be like this, it should be like that. Allow it to have its fruits and grow.
I think that argument about blaxploitation, we can take that for the Crouches, make it at the UK. The Crouches series where people were like, absolutely not, that's not how black families are represented. So then it was shut down. Then that's not to blame the reason why we don't have a lot of black shows in the UK today, but that's one of the reasons that they used, like, well, you're not going to let us do it, then it's just all these stereotypes get out there and then blah, 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 whatever. I think blaxploitation, that was the reason why it was shut down. But also, in that respect, there were lives at the time that blaxploitation was thriving, the industry was thriving, but also very negative stereotypes were having real world effects. I think you're right about Annie and letting the scene grow. I'm not in it, and that's why I'm very, very clear. I don't watch football. I don't watch sport punditry. I'm not a woman that wants to be in that space. So I don't know actually, though that could be, everything you guys are saying is right, letting it breathe and letting the men with the voice and the icon status do the talking to push it further. There's an element where there are people that will watch women talk about it. And so if she's talking about, I just don't want to undermine what she's saying. I don't want to say that what she's saying is actually to be poo-pooed on, because she's in it and she's been in it and she's seeing it from a different perspective. So aside from mentioning Ian in the wrong way, she might be making a valid point, and there might be people that actually agree with her. I haven't done enough research into any of that world to know where she's coming from. I can do a lazy assumption that, women probably aren't respected in that space. So I don't want to totally shit on what she's saying, because she might have some insight.
I'm not shitting on what she's saying. And her perspective could be right, just like you said. But I think what she should have done then is highlighted people that don't actually back the game. Ian, if you look at his track record, he backs the game. He talks the talk and walks the walk. There are people that have jumped on the bandwagon and you don't see them no more because the Euros are done or whatever it is. He's not one of those people. He's not. He goes to matches. Whether he's a pundit or not. He's in it. As I said, his grandchild, he goes with his grandchild. He's involved. So whether or not it is what she's saying is happening, and it probably is in some respect, but I do think that if you do have somebody who's championing this for you, don't come for that person.
Don't come for that person. If that be the case, like you should have done better. So who's in the bin?
It would be good to chat with her.
Yeah.
If she would come on.
And Ian, anyway.
Just to have an insight into what's going on
Ian's
in her
my
world.
brother's
It seems
brethren.
a lot. But I would love...
That's not why I'm defending him. I don't know him like that. I don't know him like that.
Ian Wright on the orange chair.
I mean, we'd need Ian Wright on the chair.
It would be amazing.
I'm your Scorpio sister. I'm just doing podding, okay? I'm not against you.
To chat with Ian Wright would be phenomenal.
We're actually all in trouble because he actually said, I don't want any more discussion on this. He said that at the end of his video, and we've talked about it a very long time.
Very long time.
Longer than I thought we were going to
be quick.
It's a lot because I'm saddened that she's quit.
Yeah, me too. Definitely.
Maybe she needs a break. And he come here to the Aunties couch. We'll do an auntie vention.
Yeah, let's chat.
Let's chat. All right. Is there any more?
That is it.
That's it, guys.
Yes.
Keep safe and enemy free. Lots of love and big hugs from your favourite
Aunties.
Bye now.